I'm banking on Morph Ball. What about you?
Well, definitely Morph Ball. But beyond Morph Ball, I always like to see some sort of beam, but I'm feeling high jump boots today, so let's go high jump boots.
That is an interesting call.
But of course, we'll have to wait till the runners get through Parlor and then falling down the climb and ride in an elevator. And no moonfall from either of our runners today. And the moment of truth reveals that it is bombs. Wow.
All right.
Shoutouts to Poplars for the very good call.
So it looks like we will be seeing a BT fight, assuming players go there.
Yeah, BT hype. If the runners choose to visit Bomb Torizo, and I expect they will, we'll be seeing a Bomb Torizo fight. And both runners getting their morphing ball out of the ceiling with no problem. And we'll see with just missiles. We'll see if what they find down here in the pit where you normally get your first missiles. Super missiles for the runners today. This could be a late power bomb seed, which would of course preclude the runners from doing things like checking Edicoons on their first pass. It'll make checking some locations slower. It's gonna be interesting to see if power bombs show up before, say, the high jump boots location. I know the late power bomb seeds are the ones that I have the absolute most trouble with. They're for me are the hardest ones to play. And kelcharge making the choice of going down and checking the Mother Brain missiles is heading up the climb. kelcharge just finding missiles, but definitely an interesting call by kelcharge. I like the play. If that was the only available power bombs to our runners, that would really have paid off quite hugely.
Definitely. Wouldn't have to come all the way back down.
And we'll see if he gambles on dental plan as well, or if that was the spot he wanted to check. And some really nice parlor movement by kelcharge, blowing right by the dental plan, so it looks like he just wanted to gamble a little on that Mother Brain missile spot. And Rumbleminze showing just how good super missiles are against Bomb Torizo. Making quick work of him there. We'll see what kelcharge does.
Only 2 supers required for Bomb Torizo.
Yeah. kelcharge going with the 5 pea shooter shots and then 2 super missiles to take care of Bomb Torizo today. And what's Rumbleminze going to find here at Terminator? The X-ray scope. We'll see. That could actually be, a useful pickup for our runners, even this early. And kelcharge also getting his X-ray scope. Looks like he's maybe trying to jump over it there, but it is not going to work. Rumbleminze with a little bit of a lead right here. Green Brinstar. Most of that based on kelcharge opting to collect the Mother Brain missile location. And just another E-tank here.
Quite unfortunate.
I don't know. It's definitely not the top of the list for these runners for things they'd like to find. But there's a certain number of E-tanks I'm always happy to find. The E-tanks I don't appreciate fully until I find myself in a situation where I'm, looking at a hell run and I have 2 E-tanks or something.
Yeah, you definitely want as many E-tanks as you can get for those.
Yeah, and sure enough, the runners don't have power bombs yet, so they're forced to pass by the Edekun's location. They also could be forced to pass by the Wavegate location, the Waterway location, even if they have a speed booster, and X-Ray. There are a lot of things here that we like to check on our first pass through Big Pink and Down Red Tower that get, walled off by logic if you just don't have power bombs yet. So we'll have to see how the runners adapt to this, but and there are the power bombs for Rumbleminze.
Finally.
So we might see some immediate backtracking. I know if I find power bombs in Big Pink, that I'm gonna go check Edekun's.
Yeah.
It's so far out of the way at any other point.
It's just easier to backtrack now.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Spring Ball there at Charge. So Spring Ball hype for everyone who loves that item oh so much. I'm a fan. Rumbleminze going for Wavegate. Looked like it was a pixel too far forward there, but that looked good. Looked like he got it there on the 3rd try. And sure enough, there it was. It's a little hard to tell without the audio cue, but getting rewarded with Plasma Beam. Let's see. That was a little too far forward for kelcharge, but the 2nd try was good. He will also be picking up his Plasma Beam, and it looks like if Edekun's is charge, or the runners find charge anytime soon, they will have assembled their contraption and will be ready to microwave the likes of Phantoon, Dragon, and Botwing.
Most definitely.
Plus anything else they want to microwave, really. But it's most useful for those bosses and mini-bosses. Some of the very high HP key hunters can also be useful to microwave, but just an E-tank down here at Edekun's. And kelcharge choosing to not check Edekun's, instead going straight for Red Tower. So this will be interesting. We know that checking Edekun's, of course, didn't return anything major, but kelcharge will have to keep that in mind as he plays the rest of the seed, what might be over at Edekun and Waterway. So kelcharge will reveal for us what Spazer has today. And Ice Beam.
Looking pretty good on beam so far.
Yeah, with Plasma and Ice, that sets our runners up pretty nicely. They definitely would, like wave and charge at some point, but finding 2 of the 4 beams that you really want to see so early, and particularly finding plasma before you find spacer, can be a really comfortable thing. It means you won't waste 7 seconds on spacer at some point in the run. And now we see Rumbleminze headed basically the way we just saw kelcharge go. I expect he'll be probably heading down. I don't think that he's going to want to go to wrecked ship with either a spring ball or a CWJ or a bomb jump entry. Although we did see him practicing his diagonal bomb jumps on the way, and it looks like kelcharge is choosing to not use his spring ball here to escape that crate item location. The neglect of spring ball. I'm not a fan, but it happens very often.
For only pennies a day, you can save a spring ball.
And Rumbleminze getting his ice beam. Gotta be happy to see it, but I expect we'll see him continue to follow kelcharge right over to Kraid. See if we get the Kraid stand-up DLC today. Looks like he missed that missile. He's gonna go for round 2 for the missile quick kill. And 200 damage is 100 too many, so Kraid is going to stand up and stomp on Prom.
The DLC.
The bottom half of Kraid, he paid for it. Anywhere from 30 seconds to $15.
There we go.
Quick work of a stood-up Kraid. See if Rumbleminze fares any better. And the Varia location, not really returning anything but an E-tank, but we'll see what the frog pocket has today. And we'll see if Rumbleminze is able to protect Prom from Kraid, or if Kraid's gonna dance. And Rumbleminze with a really nice 2-missile quick kill, pretty much ideal, keeping Prom safe from Kraid for another day.
Kelcharge turning down that E-tank in the frog room.
Very interesting as he's taking the elevator down to Upper Norfair without any, major progression item to help him into wrecked ship. I don't know. I definitely would personally want a little bit more health, or wouldn't turn my nose up at a little extra health for those runs, but ooh,
Gravity.
Even intended X-ray strats to discover gravity at high jump boost.
That'll help him get to wreck ship, certainly.
And Sephi highlighting the really nice business center movement by kelcharge, some really nice down backs and just really nice movement all around and getting down to the high jump boots location. Oh, we saw it. It was very, very smooth movement from kelcharge.
Taking the safety save.
And Rumble with some smooth movement of his own, getting Mockball Kraid's lair there over to the elevator. Kelcharge proceeding to do some heated runs here over to check the ice location, but needs to be careful. He's gonna be This is going to be tough for him to get in and out if this is not an E-tank. Doesn't have enough to Crystal Flash, so... Yikes. Oh, he's resetting. Okay. It's good given that he had just saved there, right across from the high jump boots location. Kelcharge seems very committed to the 3 E-tank strat.
Definitely can be risky at times, but
It's not a bad play for you know, the runners who are very comfortable executing on 3 E-tanks. You do save quite a bit in fanfares over the course of a run. So if he's decided he's got what he needs, then I expect we'll just see him proceed with 3 E-tanks. And choosing to go up Main Street.
let's see if Rumble goes to check more no fair locations or go back up.
Head directly to Mount Everest, not heading over toward Mama Turtle. I guess his best way of checking or obtaining the item at Mama Turtle, unless there's a spring ball jump that he can do, would be to, would be to do an IBJ. But okay, he's just taking an interesting route over there. And he's out of water, so gravity jump isn't going to do all that much for him. I don't know what strat kelcharge is pursuing right here to check this item. It's definitely not something I've seen before. But just an E-tank. And Rumbleminze making up a little bit of time choosing to take the slightly cleaner route over to this item location. Getting knocked by the fish there. But we'll see what he does to check the Mama Turtle item. Now, kelcharge back in the water, so gravity jumping much more active here. A little late on the pause or early on the jump there, but he's got the right idea. It's this or bomb jumps for him. Both our runners choosing to go for Meridia here. We'll see if they choose to stay in Meridia or if they decide that going up to wrecked ship and going for a slightly tough entry is more their thing. But in this newer version of the logic, Meridia is a higher value set of locations than it used to be. It's a little more balanced. And so it's probable that the runners are aware of this and are biasing themselves toward an early Meridia. Kelcharge headed right for the sandpit location. It's a very interesting check. I wonder if we'll see him head over for Shock Tool after this.
Let's see what it is.
Just a reserve tank. Vanilla reserve, not what the runners would like, but a pretty easy check for kelcharge to have made, and then he can reset rather than continuing. So pretty nice sync here by our runners. We'll see if kelcharge can catch up in time for this ice clip, but 20 minutes and 13 seconds in, and our runner's almost in the same place. And Botwoon being a little trolly, but Rumbleminze making it through. Runners, of course, have to be careful not to soft lock here without charge, and yeah, kelcharge is not in good sorts here with Botwoon. He's going to need to hit, I think, 3 or 6 of his remaining missiles. And I was watching the kelcharge fight. I missed what was at Botwoon. Hopefully kelcharge safely through, and he has, so we'll see in a second what Botwoon had. Based on the number of E-tanks Rumbleminze has, I think it was just an E-tank.
Yeah.
And sure enough.
Yeah, kelcharge farming up a bit.
Yeah, and I see some notes that he picked up his 4th E-tank, and I don't know if that would have been something that he wanted to do, but for the runners without speed booster but with spring ball, it's pretty difficult to avoid that Botwoon item. It costs more time than it's worth in general, so it's almost free in terms of how long it takes for the item fanfare versus how long it would take to avoid with the runner's current item set.
Unfortunately,
Oh, sorry, no, go ahead, Yoko.
unfortunately, they do not have charge beam, so they cannot do microwave shrimp.
Yeah, no charge, no grapple, and no speed booster. Means that we're going to be seeing a just fire a bunch of ammo at Dragon fight here. And both are runners with roughly 20 super missiles. kelcharge, of course, with a higher max of 30. The only real difference here for our runners is that Rumbleminze has a few more missiles. And of course, also the Dragon escape, depending on what item Dragon has, will be a gravity jump or bomb jump only escape right now as it stands. So we'll have to see how our runners elect to escape once they've successfully dispatched Dragon. And Rumbleminze with a fairly clean fight, getting 2 goop patterns and making good use of those with clearing the goop out with power bombs and just firing ammo right into Dragon's gut.
Space jump. Is this even randomized?
Yeah. Space jump is exactly the sort of item that will help the runners get right back out of Dragon. And kelcharge also dispatching Dragon. So he'll probably go get his vanilla space jump. And so where do you think the runners are going to head now, Yoko? You think we'll see... Sorry?
I think they're gonna head up to wreck ship.
I think that's a a pretty good call. Would you route in plasma here and check plasma? Because they do have plasma beam to make the space pirates in that room fairly quick, or do you think that that's too slow of a location? You just go right for wrecked ship?
I would probably skip it. Head straight to wreck ship.
Reasonable. I'm tempted to go to plasma. It looks like Rumbleminze is skipping it, and it looks like kelcharge is going to gamble plasma. So a fairly close call. It looks like our runners have made opposite decisions about it. We'll see how that works out. And yeah, Sephi pointing out in the chat that the runners have plasma and therefore can kill the pirates in the plasma room. Only a few ways to kill them. The ones on the wall you can power bomb and get 2 of them that way. But otherwise, speed booster, plasma, screw attack, or pseudo screw using charge beam are the only 4 ways to kill the monsters in that room and open the gray door. At least the only 4 ways I know of.
Rumble on their way to wreck ship.
And yeah, both of the runners have killed Kraid and Dragon. So
Speed booster.
2 bosses down for each, and kelcharge getting his speed booster. That is going to be a really, really big play, especially depending on what happens up at the wreck ship reserve location, which I expect we will see kelcharge head for wrecked ship now. That is that's a big payoff for that plasma gamble.
Yeah, so that wreck ship reserve or waterway could have an important item.
Yeah, just plasma being so key for the wreck ship reserve location because it is the only way to check it. Or speed, sorry. Speed being so key. Speed at plasma. So Rumbleminze will be able to see what item's there, but he won't be able to get it just yet. So if that's Varia suit, that's probably going to be, very close to deciding this game. Of course, it only being, about 5% to be Varia.
A lot of different guesses in the chat.
Yeah, I see some good guesses. I see some Varia. That's another 5%. Or maybe that's more like 3. I think that's actually about 3 to 4%, sorry. Yeah, there's almost 10% of seeds where Varia is locked behind Speed Booster. kelcharge heading down. I was expecting the routing up to wrecked ship, but kelcharge has something different in mind. Okay, I guess kelcharge didn't want to do a reverse ice clip, and then didn't want to do the green gate glitch through the crab room to get back to Main Street, but it looks like he is in fact heading up to wrecked ship. With only 4 super missiles, I definitely don't blame him on. I'm a little surprised he didn't elect to do the reverse, or no, he has speed booster. He doesn't even need to do the reverse ice clip. He can just blow right through the mock droid room. Yeah, that was a peculiar call. And we see there the only red fish in the game, as Rumbleminze shows us the only red elephant ghost.
kelcharge with the nice mock ball.
Yeah, with spring ball especially, those mock balls can be a little tricky to get. And Fantoon is down for Rumbleminze, so it's his third boss, but of course we know Kelcharge is right on his tail. This has been a really interesting race so far. I mean, basically what I expected out of this match. Really nice execution from both runners. And pretty sound routing choices. There have been a lot of kind of 50-50 calls that we've seen our runners make varying decisions on, but now, almost 31 minutes in, we see our runners very close to setting up for a high five there. Narrowly missing it as Rumbleminze checks the major over here in the right side super location. And just a reserve tank for Rumbleminze. And even though Rumbleminze has an extra boss down and a lot more energy tanks, I would say right now that we're looking at advantage kelcharge just because of how big of an item Speed Booster is.
Especially if Varia is at Wreckship Reserve or Waterway. That means Rumble would have to go all the way back to get Plasma.
Exactly, yeah. If Speed Booster is required, then Rumbleminze is in bad sorts. And I see a comment from ETAP about Rumbleminze's play about using a power bomb and forgetting Spring Ball there on the Phantoon exit. But actually, and a nice Doppler there from kelcharge, using the power bomb there to clear out the blocks allows you to also clear out the all of the blocks on the way over to the right side supers location. Actually, it's probably a bit of a time save even over using Spring Ball, so I'm not going to get on him too badly about neglecting Spring Ball there. But screw attack for Rumbleminze here at the E-Tank. And a very nice Phantoon out of kelcharge. This is going to be really interesting. Screw attack, of course, an item that is super, super useful to have, particularly before lower nightmare. And so that'll be a big time save, but I expect both of our runners will have it. Rumbleminze getting a little clip through the ceiling there on his way up to attic. Immediately putting that screw attack to use, dispatching these key hunters in the attic.
It'll make attic much easier.
And we're going to find out now whether, well, we know Speed Booster will end up being very useful for a number of things. Like, for instance, just the Zebes escape at the end of the game. But we're going to see if it's keeping him from getting wave beams, is what it's hiding.
Bionic Link called that. Wreckship Reserve equals wave. Quote me.
Well, he has been quoted. I'm looking for it, but... Oh, yeah.
Good job, Link.
And I see a call for Waterway equals Very. We'll see if he can go 2. He played his 7%er, and he hit. But yeah, Rumbleminze, I think we will just see him never get Wave Beam. He can pretty much do everything without, but I think we will kelcharge to spend the time going over and getting that location.
It will make the Zeb skip a little harder.
Yeah, right now, I think Rumbleminze will need to unequip Plasma if he does not find any other beam in order to do the Zeb skip. I feel like Plasma Ice is the only combination of beams that without charge does not allow you to do a clean Zeb skip. I know there was some confusion over that in the chat a few days ago, and just confusion over whether you could use just Ice Beam, which of course you can for a Zeb skip. Kelcharge about to discover Wave Beam. Probably be pretty happy to see that one. And I see the chat is really wanting for these runners to get trolled. I see lots of calls for Waterway Varia and Shock Tool Varia. Something I don't wish on anybody. Although, right now, also because one of the runners has speed and the other doesn't, I'm gonna root for Shock Tool Varia, because without grapple, that means they'll get to showcase their Ice Clip skills, and that's always a fun one. Rumbleminze checking Gauntlet, discovering just an energy tank, resetting with the quickness as kelcharge rides the chorizo in bowling. So I see in the chat, not knowing what can and can't be in Gauntlet. Basically, Gauntlet can be any major except for these suits. And of course, that is specific to the tournament randomizer. For instance, in the open randomizer logic, suits can be at Gauntlet, and I've gotten Varia there before, and I guess Morphing Ball also cannot be at Gauntlet. Kind of a weird technicality, but Morphing Ball and suit can be at Gauntlet.
So Wave Beam for kelcharge will give him a slight advantage over Rumble.
Yeah, kelcharge, with the exception of E-Tanks, has the strict gear advantage right now, but Rumbleminze just, a handful of rooms ahead, gonna try and hold on to that lead as he checks X-Ray. Both runners now with 3 bosses down, so only Ridley remains. And just an E-Tank. Rumbleminze almost getting jigated, but he made it through. And this has become the hunt for Varia for both of our runners. kelcharge, looks like either farming up power bombs or committing to chargeless. Looks like just farming power bomb slugs. They're a good free source of power bombs on your way back down Red Tower. But if Varia's at Waterway, Rumbleminze isn't going to find it for a while. And Rumbleminze going back through Upper Norfair. It's true, our runners have a whole bunch, 5 majors in Upper Norfair that have gone unchecked. And kelcharge actually getting jigated. Bombing his way back out there pretty quickly, but was not able to quite beat the gate. Also passing on his E-Tank at X-Ray.
kelcharge opting to go down.
Yeah, both our runners basically have this nest of 5 majors in Upper Norfair between Bubble Mountain and Crocomire. That is the highest value remaining location, but of course we could have seen kelcharge dip over to Waterway. And, ooh, Rumbleminze finding his Variasuit, a very exciting find right there at the Bubble Mountain Reserve.
A very exciting thing.
Thank you, Palmy, for clarifying the joke.
This is what we have Palmy for.
But yeah, we'll see if Rumbleminze goes straight for Ridley, and I expect he will. Both our runners with only Ridley left to kill.
Grapple.
Yeah, kelcharge about to go find his Varia, making a good bet on the Bubble Mountain Reserve location. I think that puts him back in the lead. The question in my mind was how long it took him to get over to this location and find his Variasuit. But with 30 super missiles already, I think we're going to see kelcharge go right to Lower Norfair and go make a rush to finish up the game. Of course, he needs more ammo in order to do chargeless Mother Brain. But there are quite a few locations the runners can check as they traverse Lower Norfair. And they can double that up, of course, with checking some of the major locations. With only one super missile right now, I think we're not going to see kelcharge make the play of going and trying to check Golden Terizo. But Rumbleminze with 14 supers will have access to, reasonably going to try and check that location. So we'll see if that makes a difference. Yeah, I see a question about how many missiles you need. If it were just missiles, you would need 36, 6 for the glass and 30 for Mother Brain 1, plus then 180 for Mother Brain 2, so you would need 216 missiles, but generally we think of it as 40 missiles, 60 supers. And sure enough, Rumbleminze checking and just seeing an E-Tank at the GT location. Kelcharge not gonna be punished for skipping that one. It was not charged. And Rumbleminze grabbing his 9th E-Tank. Yeah, Rumbleminze did a really nice job with that green gate. A somewhat finicky trick that can take quite a few tries, which is why I suspect we didn't see kelcharge go for it. But getting it on the first try. But Rumbleminze with Grapple Beam will have a slightly easier farm before Ridley, if the runners choose to farm for ammo. And I like that Mickey Mouse check from Rumbleminze. I think that's unfortunately just power bombs, but looking for a little more ammo. Unfortunately, just didn't find it. I think we'll see kelcharge at least check the power bomb shameless. and super missiles, that's exactly what the runners find right there. Rumbleminze following kelcharge, making his play over check 5 play. And so just, finding that, I think, the third reserve tank. And Rumbleminze making the play to go up and check the extra miners up here above Fire Fleas. Up to 3 more locations he can check. And I think we're going to see him go for those super missiles there. Unfortunately, just power bombs. There are a lot of power bombs here for the runners in upper north or in lower north air. But at least he'll be able to grab one more pack of super missiles here before heading down to Ridley. Maybe 2 if he goes to the left here on his exit. And kelcharge starting that pre-Ridley farm. The Zebos here have a pretty good super missile. Maybe 12%, I think 24%. But sometimes they can be a little fickle. Okay, Elminster. Zebo super drop is about 40%. Sorry, this is what I get for not knowing my my drop tables. But thank you for supplying knowledge there, Elminster. I appreciate it. And Rumbleminze grabbing his super missiles a shame location. And kelcharge deciding that 31 is sufficient after running a little cold Zebo farm. Kelcharge, I see, quote-unquote, costing him the race, but I would say kelcharge still with a strong lead of probably about 2 to 3 minutes at this point, just based on speed booster. Or, not just speed booster, execution, whatnot. I don't want to speak to anything of that, but really speed booster supplying a lot of advantage for kelcharge at this point in the race. Pumping Ridley full of ammo. Ridley should be about dead.
I have a feeling we're going to see Spazer.
Okay, there it is. We're going to say, Ridley, you gotta be dead soon. Spazer would be, the 4th reserve tank.
Wow.
The only thing that is almost as worthless as Spazer right there. But yeah, that was a very close, very tight Ridley fight from kelcharge. A little bit of a clench there, but he made it through safely.
Do you think kelcharge is going to go on the hunt for charge or try to get enough ammo?
Honestly, with how disparate the available major locations are, and how clustered some of the minor locations are, if I'm in kelcharge's position, I'm committing to doing chargeless. I'd look to double up some of the major and minor locations, and if I happen to find charge away, nifty. but I definitely would not have that be the expectation. I'll expect to see him grab every super missile he sees, and probably a lot of the missiles as well. I would expect to see a Franker Z check on his way out. But no, kelcharge is not checking the what we know to be power bombs there on the way out, so maybe he is committed to finding charge. But no, he is checking Franker Z. An interesting series of decisions there, because what we know to be power bombs there on the right side of the room that kelcharge just passed through, I don't know its name, a quicker miner to check than the Franker Z missiles that he just checked. So, while it wouldn't have paid off with supers, still interesting. Rumbleminze setting up for the ceiling clip. Looks like he didn't quite get the jump, but now he's got it, and not quite getting the D-boost, but going for the really near strat there. And kelcharge doubling up the miner check here with Wave, and we'll see what Wave's got. And kelcharge and Rumbleminze both checked Firefly prior to heading down to Rig, and it was a reserve tank. Rumbleminze on his lower Norfair escape. I'm going to kelcharge go and check speed, which also has a miner directly above it, so again being able to double up those locations. And I see calls for a Croc check because there's two majors. And Croc also has 3 miners down there, but that is quite a lengthy check, and I don't think we'll see either of our runners visit Crocomire today, or at least not in this race. But, you know, I may be surprised. Speed Booster was at the Vanilla Plasma. And Rumbleminze following kelcharge around, going straight for Wave Beam. He'll get some super missiles here. And probably find an E-tank and leave it alone. Kelcharge maybe checking Croc, maybe just going down to check the miner out. But no, it looks like he is headed for Croc. I was wrong. And we'll be seeing some Croc, so Croc hype. Nobody happier right now than Cheaty Face.
Crocs.
Croc is taking a dip in the orange soda. Rumbleminze checking the right side Bubble Mountain miner and finding more supers. It looks like he's committed to chargeless at this point. And so I think that we'll see kelcharge go Croc and Rumbleminze go no Croc. But I've been wrong before about 30 seconds ago, so we'll see how this goes. See if kelcharge proceeds to go check grapple, but at this point, whether it's a sunk cost fallacy or not, there's a major down here plus 3 miners. passing up the first one. And I think Rumbleminze just passed on an easy-to-check miner there in the lava on this upper route between Bubble Mountain and the business. It's a very... Oh, and charging that grapple.
Wow, what a gamble.
Big gamble, and it paid off big. Kelcharge with his speed booster, making me eat crow today.
It's going to give him a pretty big advantage, but Rumble has now caught up and passed him.
Yeah, Kelcharge still probably advantaged in this race, because Kelcharge's miner hunt is now over. Rumbleminze has, at minimum, 21 seconds of fanfares left, plus whatever time it takes for him to go find those locations. Yeah, kelcharge has assembled the most powerful beam, the Charge Ice Wave Plasma Beam, or the most powerful beam that the runners will have access to in a glitchless randomizer, except for Hyper Beam. But yeah, that should make quick work of the remaining parts of the game, with the exception of Mother Brain's tank and Mother Brain 1. I don't even think we'll see kelcharge stop for the ship refill. I think he is full-on go mode, looking to finish things up, while Rumbleminze is checking these miners at the top of Red Tower. I like this check from Rumbleminze. It's the right check to make, but of course, missing out on charge and speed is putting him at a substantial disadvantage. So yeah, with 55 missiles and 55 supers, at this point, if Rumbleminze fully removes the glass from Mother Brain, he would have sufficient ammo to finish the game. But I think we'll see this miner get checked, and potentially a couple more. I think we may see the back end gauntlet get checked. Kelcharge does not have enough energy tanks. He would need to pick up 2 more energy tanks, which would cost 14 seconds at minimum. And stand up really only stands to save him on the order of 20 seconds. So going for stand up at this point in the seed for kelcharge would be a bad mathematical call. And the way the miners work in Randomizer is that you're guaranteed to be able to find all 3 types, and in a way that allows you to complete the game. They will all exist, but the relative probabilities of each of the ammo types is changed relative to vanilla Super Metroid. So power bombs happen with a 1 in 7 chance, super missiles and missiles each with a 3 in 7 chance. And so, particularly in the case of super missiles, runners are very likely to exceed over the course of a run the 50 that you can find in vanilla Super Metroid. In fact, Rumbleminze already having more than the maximum 50 super missiles from vanilla. I see calls that if Rumbleminze gets stand-up glitch, that this could be close, but Rumbleminze could do stand-up glitch, but he would just have to stand there and watch Mother Brain, because without Charge Beam, there will be no way for him to deal extra damage to her. So I don't think that we'll see Rumbleminze go for stand-up glitch. Both of our runners are going to be heading into Torian. Well, kelcharge making his way through. I think we'll see Rumbleminze in the Metroid rooms right around. Sees the biggest baby Metroid. But kelcharge with a pretty substantial lead. He's really held on to the lead from Ridley. Rumbleminze spending about as much time getting miners as kelcharge spent going down to Croc and finding his charge beam.
Yeah.
We see kelcharge employing a really interesting strategy for damaging himself repeatedly off of the baby Metroid. The way it works is screw attack or a pseudo screw that is then broken can cancel out invulnerability frames, so you can take damage very, very quickly, and using that to repeatedly damage himself on the baby Metroid, or the hopper that the baby Metroid is on, rather, and getting his health down so it would take less time for him to be damaged, rather than do the baby skip. Because high jump was baby skip, not something I think we'll see either runner go for. Still a very interesting race. Both of the runners here taking similar but divergent routes and ending up finding different items. The biggest gambles being kelcharge's option to go check the plasma beam location on his way out of Meridia, paying off the speed booster, enabling him to get wave at Wreck Ship, and then also gambling on Crocomire and finding charge beam, whereas Rumbleminze didn't do either of those things. Kelcharge has to deal 20 of these shots to Mother Brain 2, well on his way, after 15 Turbo Beam. And Rumbleminze's gonna hit the refill station, but it's possible that we will see both runners at Mother Brain at the same time. Rumbleminze choosing to take the missile refill, of course, being a little lighter on ammo, entirely with missiles and super missiles. So Rumbleminze needs 6 missiles to break the glass, 30 missiles worth of damage for Mother Brain 1, 60 supers worth of damage for Mother Brain 2. The 60 supers all being 15 of his missiles plus 55 supers, giving him a leeway of 11 missiles right now. It'll be 8 missiles if he super missiles the door here. So, a fairly tight ammo situation, but one that he will be able to deal with handily. Oh, and looks like Ice Plasma, he was able to get the skip. Or does he just have ice on right now? I didn't actually check his menuing. I don't know. Okay, it looks like he just has ice on, but he just missed a number of missile shots. Yeah, he'd menued to just ice so that he could get that Zeb skip. That makes sense. I was going to say, how did he manage that with ice? I tried. I promise I tried. I couldn't get it working. And yeah, both our runners on to Mother Brain. Rumbleminze, not a lot of ammo to spare here after missing a few shots on Mother Brain 1. Oh, and another super down. This, I think he's still okay, but I don't think he can miss any more super shots. So has to hope that Mother Brain doesn't bob or weave her head too much. But we know kelcharge on the escape now. Very, very likely going to win this game one unless something truly bizarre happens. But Rumbleminze does not have that information. Ooh! And it looks like, yeah, I think he's out of ammo. I think, oh, there it is! Okay, it was just a very late catch-up for Rumbleminze. I was gonna say, I thought he was good on ammo, but it was possible that I had miscounted.
Nicely done by Rumble.
Yeah, good execution on him to get exactly the ammo that he needed in on Mother Brain. Kelcharge having a pretty nice escape. The high jumpless escape, pretty awkward. Yeah, both runners should be finishing within a minute or two of one another. 2 minutes. But if Rumbleminze, chooses to play it out and escape, he's going to have a little bit slower of an escape without speed booster. But still a very, very compelling game. Both. And I see kelcharge in the SRL has done with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, 53 seconds. GG to kelcharge.
This is pretty close race all the way through.
Yeah, this could have absolutely gone either runner's way. Kelcharge getting a huge advantage finding that speed booster at Plasma. That decision really paying off for him in game one. And then finding Charge Beam at Croc, eliminating the need to... He was in pretty good situation for his miners, so even if Croc hadn't paid off, it was possible that based on having speed booster, he was still going to be able to maintain his lead and win game one. But that really helped cement it, and he was able to hold on to that and execute well through Tori and finished off taking game one of this 3-game set.
GG, kelcharge.
And we'll see what Rumbleminze does with the escape here. And that's an interesting question. I do wonder, at this point, the only thing useful that could have been at Waterway would have been high jump boots. And so if Waterway wasn't that, I think kelcharge, if he made all the other decisions, the in and out to Waterway would not have cost him the race, but it would have made it very, very, very close. Assuming that everything else goes exactly the same way. We'll find out, due to the changes that the developers made to the credits, instituting a spoiler log, where those high jump boots were in just a minute. But I'll remind everyone to ready your chat. We're coming up on that important time of every run.
You know what it is. I wonder if we're going to see Rumble pay a visit to the animals.
High jump boots were in the custody of everyone's favorite robot, Shock Tool, over at the Spring Ball location. And Rumbleminze has done in SRL with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 59 seconds, just cutting the 110. GG to Rumbleminze, and now the runners having a nice conversation. Rumbleminze asking, did you find speed or charge? And of course, kelcharge divulging the information, speed and charge. and telling what those locations were. But Deer Force for Kelcharge was a great first race. I'm super excited for the second one. Rumbleminze gonna get the credit roll as well. I'm going to take the credits here for a moment to step away from the computer. I'm gonna mute myself for just a minute, but I will remind everyone that Game 2 is coming up right after this. And, oh, I see we are going to have a change in what's going on in commentary and tracking. So thank you very much, Yoko, for joining me. And I'm excited to see who is coming in to join me next.
I think it is either Palmy or Lenofis.
Okay, very cool. Well, I'm excited to chat with either Palmy or Lenofis. So that should be fun for the next race. Game 2 should surely be exciting. And I know Timuk is slated to join me for race 3 if it goes to 3, and I hope it does, because these races are super exciting. But I'll remind everyone to follow the runners, follow Yoko, follow Palmy the Tracker, follow Speed Gaming. Don't follow me. I just talk a lot. Follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2. Support Feasel. Shouts to Feasel for all the hard work. And don't randomize your Twitch channel, because we'll be right back with 2. And I'll be back in just a minute.
Thank you. See you.
As a minor insert, chat, this is Palmy here, ready to be your commentator for the next. After these next races, if there isn't anything coming up as far as I'm aware, please go ahead and check out the GDQ that is being hosted in help of Harvey victims who've been affected by Hurricane Harvey. This is being hosted by Games Done Quick, an impromptu event after this horrible storm that has taken many alive and many good people, as well as giving people without food, shelter, and water. All donations that will be sent to this event will be going towards the Houston Food Bank. So if you could throw some donations there and continue to watching both Speed Gaming 2 SRL, as well as the Games Done Quick event, it'd be surely appreciative. Thank you.
Alright, everyone, I am back. Sorry about that. I needed to go grab a water. I was getting a little parched through the end of game 1 there. But I'm excited. Palmy is joining me here. I see he has entered the chat. Should be a fun change-up for game 2. I see the runners have gotten a for game 2 and are joining the race and are just getting set up. Palmy says he will be here very shortly. So no rush, but should be fun. Thank you very much to Palmy for his good job tracking in race 1. But for anyone just joining us, we are headed to game 2 of Rumbleminze versus kelcharge. kelcharge won game 1. And we'll be here for all 3 games. Or I will be here, and Rumbleminze and kelcharge will. Hopefully you all choose to be here as well. No hard feelings if not, but I think these are going to be some super sweet games. You see Rumbleminze has the game 2 setup. The runners are playing on V2.8, which is the new tournament logic. A more random distribution of items, a more uniform distribution of items than the old logic. Particularly, Meridia's value has increased just a little bit. And it sounds like I heard Palmy unmute there, so...
Wow, good call.
Yeah, I think... Welcome, Palmy. How are you doing? Thank you for the chat for game 1.
Oh, of course, and I'm doing pretty well after my birthday yesterday. It was pretty awesome.
Well, happy belated birthday. You didn't bait me at all.
Thank you. I just turned the big old 2-3, so I'm super hyped to be another year older and another year to start practicing for more Super Metroid.
Oh man, 2-3. Gosh, that was a while ago for me.
No, you don't say it.
You're a young.
So, you don't send a Dale out or 18.
You're a youngin.
Oh, Leno, that's kind of you.
Well, I am the big 3-5, coming up on 3-6.
Oh golly.
I am 31 presently, so.
Oh dang.
You've got me, but I'll keep it young at heart.
We're all young at heart. We're all just double teenagers.
But yeah, it looks like the runners have readied up in the chat, so as soon as we are ready to go, and by the way, thank you for... I really appreciate the help. Leno's going to do an awesome job keeping track of all the items. Everyone should go give him a follow. But yeah, kelcharge is up 1-0 in the... And hopefully we will see a 3-game set. So I'm rooting for Rumble game 2, just for rooting for game 3, because I think this is just such an even match and such an exciting one to watch.
I don't know if Fees will notice this, but suddenly kelcharge has no points. So,
That's okay. He will get his golden Samus head in time. I think that right now they're just adjusting audio volume to make sure that they can use both the streams, and there kelcharge has been awarded his golden Samus.
Ah, there it is.
I was gonna say, this is whose Super Metroid is this anyway, where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Yeah, it's alright, the points are just like Link to the Past randomizers. They really don't matter. Shots fired.
Oh.
No, all games are equal and created in Palmy's eyes, so...
The Super Metroid is a super, super sweet game. But
I guess you could say Link to the Past is Metroid, it's match.
oh,
I'm here all day.
Right in the gut. A gut punch pun from Palmy right out of the runners haven't even started yet.
Palmy's back, baby.
Cringe knows no breaks. But I see the runners have started in the SRL chat, so good luck to both of them. They will be off plus a little stream delay. What do you think the runners are going to find to start this one off beyond Morph Ball, Palmy?
But this new